Thanks for tuning in to Raw Vibes with A and V. This is episode.
I don't know. No number.
This is a new episode. We'll just go with that. Again, thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the engagement. In today's episode, it's going to mostly revolve around a viewer question that we feel is going to take up a good portion of the episode. So let's kind of just dive into it.
Yeah, let's do it. So again, from Nicole Louder, thank you so much. So she had wrote, love the information and the openness from our first or second episode.
Mm-hmm.
So she wrote, there's a lot more awareness about autism, different disorders and conditions than back when we were younger. What would you say you struggled with most during your adolescent, teenage years? I love the vulnerability you both have. It's refreshing and inspiring, and I definitely will be tuning in, which I love that. And I've had that a lot. I even had people in public come up to me, and that's super awesome. So I just wanted to, so that's going to be our main topic, is that question about growing up undiagnosed. And I have been working on a book for a while, just writing snippets, like little essays here and there. So this is me being extremely vulnerable. I would probably most likely 100% be emotional, because that's how I get very easily. So I wanted to read kind of the intro of my book. And so we'll take it from there. I'm going to read that. And then Erin has some more questions that are a little bit deeper. So we'll go from there. So here we go. I'm kind of nervous. I'm a little shaky. Already feel emotional. So here it starts. If women in their 40s read my book, Can I Grow Up Now?, they will come to realize that they too are not alone. Women will come to see that we were overlooked as children in a society that mostly looked at boys, and this is and was not our fault. Years of wondering if I was legit crazy had a conclusion. A diagnosis, a word that I can connect to. ADHD, OCD, ODD, and other neurodivergencies. Now come with me and look back at all the misbehaviors I had and the hardships I faced before my diagnosis. So now it was 2 years ago at the age of 40. I'm hoping that anyone else who went through similar situations or obstacles has the courage and hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm coming to a place where I can be at peace with my divergencies, and I hope you too can find your peace. I am Violeta Margarita Torregrosa Ayala, and with a name like this, there was no way I'd have a normal life. I always felt out of place, from another world, some type of non-regular human. I felt like the world was too loud, too fast. I was too sensitive, and textures and smells bothered me. I was always feeling down and grumpy. Others would annoy me, and I wasn't good at friendships or any other types of relationships. I never excelled at one thing. I bounced from different sports, hobbies, and activities, always getting bored easily. I never missed people. I never could remember people, places, or things I've said and done. My mind is a chatterbox of nothingness and everything. My brain causes me so much fatigue. At this point in my life, I want to be, and I need, for my sanity, to turn this into something good and beautiful. I'm going to be very honest. I see that I was just born a little bit different. My mom always told me I needed a little bit more cooking in her belly, and that's obviously true since I didn't develop my diaphragm. I'm thinking I'm just ready to get out and take the world by storm, or so I thought. And now at the age of 41, I'm understanding why that storm never came into fruition. I still feel like a kid, a teenager, lost in a world that is too darn loud and not made or built for people who are neurodivergent. However, knowing my condition, all of this finally makes sense. Behaviors, thoughts, and feelings. The way I react, it all has a name and a reason. I know that there must be others like me. I have yet to find others with my certain behaviors and thoughts, but I do know other women with similar stories. I'm coming to a place where I can be at peace. I already miswrote that. So I always thought I wanted to be normal. I'm seeing now that that just won't ever happen, but I'm okay with that. Sometimes it is hard, but now that I understand myself more, I want to share my stories. Maybe I am an alien, too aware, too sensitive, weird, but I don't care anymore. I just want to be myself and finally take the world by storm. So that was a little snippet. So go on with the first question.
Very good. So to kind of snowball on top of Nicole's questions, I came up with a few to kind of help guide this discussion about V's upbringing as undiagnosed. So the first question I thought of was, do you remember the first time you felt overwhelmed with your surroundings?
I do. I would say, I wrote down, please don't talk to me in the morning or when I'm reading, writing, or basically anytime you see me doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember as a kid, I was super grumpy in the morning, just grumpy. And I feel like that was me being like just overwhelmed. And I grew up, I have an older brother, a younger sister, a mom and dad. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not like the house was quiet.
Sure.
It was always something going on, somebody talking, music, noises. I just remember looking back that was just overwhelming for me. And I just needed, at that time, no one understood. They just thought, like, she's grumpy. Like, we have to walk on eggshells. And they just didn't understand, though. And that's what's hard is, like, I felt like I was constantly being disrespected and no one cared about how I was feeling. Like, I just needed to wake up and like give me an hour of just like getting up, doing a routine. Just, I don't even know how to explain it. Just, especially after a night of like not sleeping. And I've always never had good sleep. I can remember always being up late at night in my bedroom. And we grew up pretty strict. Like, we went to bed, you stayed in your bedroom. Like, you don't come back out of your room. And so I just remember laying in bed, and I had a lot of worries and fears about like dying. And I don't know specifically why. Maybe it was even trouble having breathing problems. Could have been. I have no idea. But I was just always just exhausted. So when I woke up, I was just grumpy. And
Yeah.
People have a hard time with that. Like, if you come in and you're just grumpy, they're like, what's that about?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you've like even experienced that when you were living here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, like what's going on with her in the morning? I just need a little bit of time. And I'm sure other people can relate to that too. Like, my sister is the same way, but I don't know if she was like that growing up or not. So, but that was the first time I really felt like overwhelmed.
So part of that answer kind of reminded me of the reel you sent me about how, like, some of the bad things about going undiagnosed with certain needs not being met.
Yeah. Like, looking back, I would say, and it's hard sometimes to talk about this because I love my parents and it's nothing against them at all.
Sure.
They just didn't know. But I forgot what the question was. What you
It was
or
just,
what you it was, yeah, there was just a lot of things that really bothered me, and no one knew, like, oh, she does need quiet, or oh, that outfit is itchy on her, or this is a big one. I remember. Okay, I don't remember specifically, but I found this picture. I'm gonna put the picture at the end of the video. It's a family picture, and I think we were at Sears. Remember Sears?
yeah.
And I think we did pictures there. Did they have pictures there?
They did.
Yeah, you guys remember Sears at the White Oaks Mall.
Mm-hmm.
West Oaks is in Florida. And I don't remember that day, but I remember seeing this picture, and I am just not happy. Like, I think everyone else is kind of just smiling, looking, and I'm just like, and I sent that picture to my mom, and I said to her, I think this was like maybe like 6-8 months ago. I sent it to her because I was like, what happened this day? Like, do you remember this day? Because, like, why am I so sad in this picture? And she said that she remembers that it was busy. There was a lot of people there. And that's what she mostly remembers, is that it was very busy. There was a lot of people, a lot of commotion. And the dress I was wearing was like itchy. Like, not even like, I don't remember it, but I remember like looking at that dress, you could tell it was like that, like just icky material where I was probably miserable. People were looking at us, I bet. It was just loud. So it definitely started at a young age, but no one knew. And I guess I would have to ask them, like, I think they just thought I was grumpy. And like, I remember a lot of, my mom does not remember, but I was told like, you have a chip on your shoulder. And I think that that's because like I fought sometimes like, I don't want to wear this or I don't want to do that. And that seemed like, oh, like I'm all high and mighty. When like, no, I'm like really uncomfortable and I don't know how to express my feelings because I'm 7 years old. And not on top of that, I couldn't self-regulate. And growing up the way I grew up, like you're kind of quiet, like shh, you don't talk, like you're just there. So
yeah, it's not a question sort of thing.
Nope.
We say you do.
Exactly, 100%. And I do remember now thinking when we would go on vacations were really hard because we were like in one hotel room. We had an itinerary, like everything was planned out. We woke up early. Just miserable. And I could look back at pictures and I am not smiling and I'm just unhappy. And it's sad, but.
So I can relate to some of that for like being neurotypical. I remember when I was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, my mom had one of those OG, like, I can't even describe the material, but man, that thing was so itchy on me. It was yellow.
The dress I was wearing was yellow.
It was like a
maybe it's like polyester.
This one, it was some sort of cloth, and I remember the edges were kind of like satin or silk. But man, the middle of it was just so itchy, and I remember hating that blanket with a passion. And I remember certain pictures of times when I was bummed, and I remember like seeing that picture takes me right back to how I felt. Like dad was super mean to me, or mom popped me in the mouth for whatever. But I remember all that. Like
you mean because of the way you felt because of like the texture?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like just not even that blanket, but I mean like other moments throughout my life. Like
you're saying
house,
yes.
Like this Thanksgiving, I had a crappy look on my face, and I remember, like, I can remember every detail of that day and be like, ooh, I remember that.
Yeah. Because what you said before is like, we grew up like, shh, you do. Like, you don't say, like, you just do it. Like, whether you're uncomfortable or not, you do what the parent said. Opposed to like saying, oh, hey, I don't like that liver and onions, you know?
Oh,
like Aaron his mom used to make.
Worst.
Well, imagine if my mom tried to make me eat liver and onions growing up. Because I've told you before, like, and that's how we grew up also with food, is that you eat everything on your plate.
That's
we were just talking about this other day.
Yeah.
And I literally, I'm sure other people, there's going to be so many people that relate to this that were just sat there for the longest time and would just sit there like, I'm not eating it. I'm not eating it. Like pork chops were gross to me. It had like that fat around it. Or even helping with like, okay, now I'm remembering more. So we would go get a ton of groceries. And then my mom would separate the chicken and she would want me to hold the bag to put the chicken in, to put it in the freezer. And I was like, oh, well, it's so gross.
Raw chicken is the worst.
Yeah. And even to this day, I struggle with it. Like I have to wash it and then I hurry up and put it in the crock pot. Like I don't even cook. It's crock pot. I don't want to try to cook it. I don't want to, nothing. Crock pot. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to, even like the fatty things grosses me out. Like it's just slimy. Steak, I don't mind. I love steak. Yummy. Almost bought some steak today. But yeah, just doing that type of stuff but they're like, you just do it, you know?
Yeah.
Even, more stuff. No, I'm thinking. Cleaning. That was a big thing for me. So we had chores. Every Saturday we had chores. So we woke up, had chores, and then we would go to church. And I remember, I think like my chores were one time, I think it switched a lot to where it was either you clean the bathroom.
Like a rotation.
No, not a rotation, but it was because I think that I complained. And because like the bathroom would be like chemicals. So what's going to happen with chemicals and somebody like me? It's going to
miserable.
I'm miserable. The smell,
my mom was the same way.
Taste it. Like I hated it. Like I said, to this day, I clean with vinegar and water. Like, and if the bathroom gets real bad, I have mask on because it gets in there and I'm just like, I become like a different person. And even the other day, Fuega put sunscreen on and she walked by me, I was like, oh, no. I said, throw that sunscreen away. I was like, we have to find something else. I was like, because I can't. And then like for an hour after that, I could taste it, and I was like pissed off. Not pissed at her, but just pissed in general. I was like, I can't take it. But then I remember they gave me the chore of like, so we're downstairs in our basement, sweeping the stairs and like vacuuming, and then but we used that stuff at the time where you sprayed or like a powder.
Mm-hmm.
That would bother me. So any type of cleaning stuff like that was overwhelming for me. And I feel like if I were to ask my parents, they thought like I was trying to get out of it or being lazy or defiant probably. But I was just like, I can't do it. It just bothered me so bad. Just all of that. Chemical smells, your mom bothered?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I stayed on her good side. Is well, let me clean the bathroom if I have to. Like she could do Pine Sol. She actually really liked Pine Sol.
We
which
grew
I
up on
couldn't
Pine
stand.
Sol.
But yeah, like the ammonia based stuff for like bleach. Yeah, she did not do well with.
My sister says she likes bleach. She's like,
well, I remember somebody commenting on one of the reels and something about like, what if I like these smells, like the acetate or the bleach.
Yes.
Which that was fascinating to me because there's some things that are most people view as unpleasant, but it's like, let me in a little sniff.
Yes, 100%, 100%. But that, like all of that, no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. I rather smell BO than like cologne, perfume, any type of chemical. Like it's just too much.
I would be okay if I never smelled lacquer thinner again.
Oh, that's from
like
when you worked
working
at
in the body shops. Lacquer thinner, those like reducers
at the body shop.
Yeah, super strong.
Gross. But you know what? Now I think that like I tell people more now, and everyone's more respectful of it.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and even when I went to the gym like a couple weeks ago, I mentioned to someone, like the employee, I said, "Listen, I don't know what the rules are here, but someone just sprayed so much vanilla, which I hate vanilla smell, in the bathroom." And I said, "But there's people who are sensitive." And he was like, "Okay, like I'll let whoever know, like they'll go in there and check it out or something." I don't know what happened afterwards, but I just wanted them to be aware. Like it's not just me. There's other people.
Sure.
So we have to be a community and help each other out. Like let's not be selfish and shh, you know. And FYI, vanilla stinks. I hate vanilla perfume on all that. Ugh, gross.
You ready to dive into the next question then?
Let's do it.
Okay, this one I thought was kind of weird, but I figured other people might be curious too. So when you were a child, like younger kid, I would, like preteen and younger, was school or being around your family harder on you?
Yeah. Oh wait, you mean either or both?
Like did one have more of an impact on you than the other?
Oh, being home. Being home was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because at school, like, I don't really know how to explain. At school, I did feel weird. I'll just read a little bit what I wrote. I felt kind of like, and I'm sure other people can relate, like kind of like an out of body experience where you're kind of like watching yourself. And, but I did feel strange with my classmates, and I did feel weird. And I remember like I was in palms and stuff, but I remember kind of always sitting to the side. And looking back, that's definitely was like sensory things, like being in a basketball game, like how loud and like, and
definitely.
And not really understanding socially how to be like with other girls. Like I didn't understand, like I had friends and stuff, don't get me wrong, like really good friends, but I always felt like awkward, or maybe like they didn't like me, or that like I was weird. Because I would have weird behavior. I would say weird things, and I'm very literal, and I say things to the point, like we talked about earlier, like I don't beat around the bush, and sometimes that can sound mean, or people can take it very hurtful. And it was never that way. But being at home, I feel it was harder because there was no diagnosis and there was no understanding. And you have to remember, culturally, it's different for me. Like I grew up like we're Puerto Rican. It's just different. I wasn't really allowed to say how I felt, or it makes me sad thinking about it. But I just feel like I kept quiet, and if I could go back, I definitely would have maybe fought for myself a lot harder. Like, no, this is how I'm feeling. And I would say it's a lot better now, but I left home at 18 and I didn't come back. And that's nothing against anybody. It's just my parents, no one understood me. And even my sister brought this up, is like, I was never around the family a lot. So no one knew like about me. No one knew the real me. And so now it's coming out now and it's a lot better. Like I'm going to Florida this summer to be with my parents, and they are more aware of things that might bother me, or, you know, they'll use different cleaning products, or I don't want to go to Disney all the time. They're going to, you know, I'll go to the beach, like the more relaxing things that aren't going to like overstimulate me. Or even my mom buys me the headphones or the things that are going to make me feel more comfortable. But yeah, I had a hard time at home, a very hard time. I was quiet. I read a lot. I read a lot in this basement, watched a lot of TV. And socially, I wasn't allowed to do much, but when I was out, I felt weird around people. Very weird.
Yeah, I never remember seeing you like out at like get-togethers or anything outside of school.
I think the only time I went in high school to like a party was at I'm not gonna say names, and she wanted me to check on her house because her sister was throwing a party. And then I remember going there, and I just was like in there for like a little bit, and I was like, oh my god, this is so weird. Like I'm almost like a wallflower. Like I don't mind like watching everybody, but to me it's weird. It's weird to see neurotypicals interact. Like it's strange. And even in college, when I was dating the hockey player, I remember going to a couple parties and I just felt weird. Like I didn't understand all of the drinking, the partying, it was just weird. I felt it was just a very weird experience. Like, and I would sit on the couch and watch, and this bothers me a lot, and I'm sure other people can relate. Are you okay? What's wrong? You're not happy. You're not having a good time. Like, I'm just let me sit and like observe. I'm observing. Yeah, I'm okay. And sometimes maybe I wasn't. And at the time, I probably would stay in that situation. But now as an adult, like you've seen it where I'm like, I'm ready to go. Like I've had enough, you know, and either you could stay but I need to go. But back then I would just sit there. But sometimes I was having fun, but people would be like, what's wrong with you? You're not having fun. And then I wouldn't have fun because someone's like harassing me, or even like to drink. Like I probably drank once in college, and I got really sick and I was like, never again. And then have I drank since then? Yes, but I've never been like a big partier or anything. Do I like to go out and dance and stuff? Yes, but once I'm done, I'm done. You know, and I have to be very comfortable.
You get that threshold. And
yes, like at Pride, I danced the whole time, but it was such a great like neurodivergent environment that it was just so comfortable, you know. But being like at a frat house or like a hockey house, that's what they called it, where it was all the hockey players, it was uncomfortable because all those people were typical neurotypicals, just drinking and acting like a fool. And I thought it was weird. Like I was like, I don't understand why people are drinking so much. Why are they acting like this? Like guys and girls making out. Like I was just like, this is too much. It was overwhelming. But I did have the desire to want to be like them. And I wanted to fit in.
Okay, you answered my question.
Yeah, but I just never did, and I never could get myself. I could never be fake. I never, ever, ever in my life could be fake. Like I wanted to feel that like normalcy and fit in, but I couldn't get the action to actually do it.
Yeah,
like
That's what I was going to ask. Like, did you just want to fit in, or did you want to be able to drink and not care about it? But you already
I think the
it.
drinking not so much, because I grew up in we just didn't drink. Like, it wasn't a part of my life at all. Like, I think I saw my dad have a beer here and there, and it was when family came over, and it was never. And then I never saw my mom drink. Like, it was like non-existent for us. It just didn't happen.
That's polar opposite of our childhood.
It is, and that's a very strange, I would say, period, especially in a small town. Like, my parents didn't drink, they didn't smoke, they didn't do drugs. It was very what do you call it? Like, just straight laced,
straight edge, even.
Yeah, just very, just like a little bit square. Good, but yeah, I wanted to fit in. And I still feel that way. Like, today at lunch, there was some teachers talking, and I was like, oh, I wish I could, like, get in there. But then I just overthink it, and I'm like, well, maybe they don't want me to be over there, or even at any other situation that I'm in where it's like neurotypicals or just a group of people and they're talking, and I'm like, ooh, I want to get in. But then I get in my head like, oh, am I gonna, they don't want to hear what I have to talk about, or I hyperfixate on things, and they're gonna think I'm like, oh my god, what is she like? It's too much. Or sometimes, like, it can seem like I am a know-it-all, because, like, I'll hyperfixate on something and, like, literally know everything about it, and then I can just seem like, oh, she's arrogant. So I struggle with that, but I'm getting better. Like, if I don't want to be in a situation, I just don't want to be in it. Like, I'll just say no, and I'm getting used to, like, oh, I am a homebody. Oh, I like hanging out with, like, just you and Fuega. I don't need a big group of people. However, I don't know if it's envious, because I've talked about it where, there's this group of people that are a little bit older than us, and they have a really amazing friend group. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So, and when I see pictures and stuff, like, I love that. And I'm like, I want that. I wish I could be a part of either that or something like that. But it's not realistic. Like, it just doesn't work out for me. And it's hard, but I know it's how I am, but I also still have that desire, Like, why don't people call me? Why don't people invite me? Why am I not in this big friendship group? Why don't I have more female friends, Sometimes you just want to fit in. But I fit in with who I'm supposed to fit in with. So that's how, yeah.
Just kind of found your own group.
Yeah, the people who care about you are going to be there, And those are the people that check in on you. But sometimes you still want more. And I'm that type, because of how I lack of the dopamine. I want more and more and more and more. But I have to realize, like, okay, when I'm with Aaron or Fuega or Sam, those are the people that are giving me the biggest dopamine hits, And then that's what I have to cherish. But there's always going to be envy. Not jealousy, because jealousy is toxic. But, like, just kind of like, that looks nice. That looks fun. That looks like family.
I would also say there's a difference between jealousy and feeling left out.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'd say sometimes I feel left out, but
I don't think that's selfish at all to feel that way. You feel how you feel, and you can't help it.
That's true. Sometimes I wish I could.
Mm-hmm.
Because my anxiety. Ugh.
My anxiety. Do you think we have time for one more question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, let's do it.
All right. Okay. So, as you've said before, you weren't diagnosed with ADHD until you were 40. Have you ever gone down memory lane and wondered how you were able to be as active as you were? Like, and from the perspective of you now. Because, as you just mentioned, your social burnout can happen a little quick at times. Other times, like Pride, you were out the whole night, ready to go. And you were like, I'm still not ready to go home. I'm going to go out a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
And I'll go out alone. Like, I've done that a lot, where I will, like, either go eat alone, or, like, I remember times in college where I was like, I'm just going to go to the bar or to the club by myself, and I would have a great time, and then I would go home. But go on. Yeah.
But, like, I would like you to think about you now. having experienced what you felt when you were younger. Like, do you ever, like, are you surprised that you did as much as you did?
Oh yeah, 100%. But a lot of what I did was nothing academic. I was very in like uh social stuff like soccer, poms, uh class student government, all of that stuff. So it was a lot of I think I was just trying to fit in, and I have this so with the OCD, like I'm a huge perfectionist. Like huge. You know how I am. Like I try to have everything perfect, look perfect, this and that. And that is how I grew up. Like I grew up I don't know if I said this before, but you look a certain way, you present yourself a certain way, you take care of yourself. A lot of definitely like superficial type stuff, which has affected me to my adulthood. And it's hard because I'm aging as well. So I'm like, it's okay to have wrinkles. It's okay if you have a little bit, fat, or you're not gonna. I'm not gonna be young forever. But looking back, I was trying to be perfect. I was trying to the biggest thing to make my dad proud. That
Yeah.
was the biggest thing. I always remember I wanted to make my dad proud. And still to this day, I feel that way. Like it's a big thing. Like it's a big thing. Um, but just trying to fit in. And I was exhausted. I would come home and I remember take a shower and I would get on, like just lay on my bed and pass out. I remember coming home from soccer and my mom would help me take off my soccer stuff. And I was just, oh, it was burnout. Like looking back, it was definitely, by the end of the day, it was like taking the mask off. Like, okay, let me just be myself. Let me just be normal, but not normal in front of my family, maybe in my bedroom or like downstairs. But I hid myself a lot in books. I read a lot. But yeah, I was definitely, even with like friends, and I remember like the pom girls and trying to be like cool with them. And like, I don't know how I did it. I don't know. And I think, I don't know if even if I was diagnosed at that time, it probably would have been harder because when you're diagnosed, you kind of, what's the word? Like revert, you kind of regress. That's the word. When you're diagnosed as an adult, you regress and you become more childlike, I feel. And I'm okay with
That was
that.
your experience.
That's yeah,
That's how
yeah.
you
That's
felt
how
it.
yeah. So I think that it was best that I wasn't diagnosed then, because I don't know how I would have got through high school. I would have been so aware, because the way my brain works is that I am aware. Like I'm aware of all of my behaviors nonstop. And if I would have done, I don't think I would have tried out for Poms, gone the soccer team, tried out for homecoming. Like I don't think I would have done any of that. I would have been like, oh my God, I'm weird. Everyone knows I'm weird. Everyone's looking at me. Like it's the perception. And that's a big thing, is that I always am worried about how people are perceiving me.
Oh, and you know what? I think that's common, especially
Yeah.
for anybody younger. Like me, the one thing I was always scared to death is somebody finding out how poor I was.
Yeah.
That was my biggest fear. Like especially when I got to like middle school and high school.
Mhm.
When you're younger than that,
Yeah.
you're not really as aware of how different you
No.
are from other people. Like from a like a the words elude me, but like social status wise, you know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yeah. Because you don't have any concept of like
Right.
money, or like
Hmm.
a dollar is like, oh my God, a dollar is like $1,000,000,
Right.
or one
Yeah.
day is like 100 days. Like you
Yeah,
don't
like
have
if
the
I found a
concept.
dollar, I was walking down to Huck's. I was getting some Jolly Rancher sticks, some loose Laffy
Ooh, Jolly
Taffy
Rancher
pieces.
sticks.
You remember
I
those?
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, finding a dollar was the best, but yeah, I think most people feel that way, that everybody was insecure about something
Yeah.
like growing up, that they were deathly afraid of people finding out.
Yeah. But I was thinking that you brought up Jolly Ranchers, and I remember I went to Du Bois, and I think it was a speech teacher. So, because I grew up in a bilingual household, and so it kind of hear things differently sometimes. And I think I had a speech teacher, and she used to give us red, like hot Jolly
cinnamon?
Ranchers. Yeah, oh, I loved them. But thinking back, like, I remember that I was not good at school. I knew that I did not understand. Like, when teachers were talking, like, I was like, oh, what are they talking about? Like, I have no idea. Like, I faked it till I made it. That's the only thing I faked was like school work. Like, and I got in trouble a couple times for cheating, for copying. I remember I copied a paper from somebody. Got big Miss Cutzinger. You guys remember Miss Cutzinger, for those who went to high school with us?
Oh, you know they did.
She got me good. And then I remember, were we in that class together?
I think we might have been.
Okay.
I'm not positive.
But do you remember, so you would have to stand up and say the vocabulary words?
Yes.
So I remember one time there was a word I had to say, and it didn't have the word sex in it, but it said like sex, it had something in it, and I kept saying sex, and I just remember her getting so mad at me. But like my process, like I couldn't just say it, and I remember like feeling stupid. And this is another thing. I had a counselor there, and I'll say it, I'm not gonna say her name, but she was a counselor at the school, so that I would never go away to college. And I was like, screw that. And I went far, far away, one of the farthest. And I was like, that was the defiance in me.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me I can't do something, and then I will do it. So if you ever want me to do something, you just tell me that I can't do it, and I'll be like, oh, I'm going to do it. But unless it's telling me to change my oil, which I need to do. So.
Same.
But yeah, it was definitely a struggle. But you know what was also friendships. That was a big thing, like with females. With the guys, I had no issues with guy friendships. And I don't know, you could probably explain more of why that would be, but because I don't know. But with the girls, it was always something. Like if I had a boyfriend and I was hanging out with him too much, oh, all you care about is your boyfriend. I was like, sorry. But now looking back, I was hyperfixated. On whoever I was with, and I always had a boyfriend. So I remember my girlfriends were always like, oh, you only want to hang out with him. And I was just like, I don't, like, if you had a boyfriend, wouldn't you want to hang out with him? So I did struggle with girls. And it was always like a competition, or I'm good like one-on-one with a girl. But if there's more than one girl,
like groups.
Yeah, it's
I could see that.
And plus, if one gets louder and louder and louder, the louder they get, the more I'm like...
Oh, like my friends, you mean?
I love your friends. I do get nervous around them, though. So, and today I saw one of your friends, and instantly I said hi and stuff and had conversation, but I was nervous the whole time. I was like, she's gonna think I'm weird. She doesn't really like me. Oh, I'm Erin's friend. Like, she doesn't care. Blah 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 blah. And then I try to like, oh, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Like I get like that. And then even I would like, there's an event this weekend. I think about going, but like, it makes me sad. Sorry, but I'm like, it makes me nervous. Like, does everybody know how weird I am? Like, am I gonna say the right thing? Am I gonna be too much? Do these people really like me? It's a big struggle. But I had to remember, like, your friends do care. Like, if I one of them had to take me to the hospital once, like they're there in a heartbeat, and not just because, I don't think just because it's you, it's because like, oh, if she needs something, like, well, we're gonna help her out.
Well, I would say most of them have forged their own relationship with you.
Yeah.
And if they haven't, then I would say that it is because of me. And I don't think there's anything wrong about that.
Yeah, no,
honestly.
not at all. And they're all great with Fuega too, and that's really awesome. So,
sure.
And I know, like, I have you as my partner and like my main person supporter, but I also know, like, if I had to reach out to someone else, that they are available too. But it's just the perception of like, and this could be like from childhood, like where I felt like why does that person like me? Why does that person love me? Because of, if I'm not giving you something, why should you give me something? So, and that's something I also dealt with in my marriage, was a huge thing. Was like, it's like tit for tat. Like, or if I'm going to be nice to you, you have to be nice to me.
Everything felt like a quid pro quo.
Yes.
Sort of
yeah.
thing.
Not just, oh, I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart, which is how I am. Like, I don't expect anything in return, because whatever makes me happy, if I'm going to make you happy, that's enough for me. Like, I don't need anything in return, because making other people happy or doing things that make them happy.
I relate to that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. There should be no expectations. There should be no obligations. Like, you just do because you want to do. And then those people who suck can kick rocks. But not the pretty rocks. Give me the rocks. The pretty rocks.
Like the gravel.
Yeah.
Pea gravel.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you have anything else on the docket for this episode, or is it time to wrap her up?
I think that's about it. Yeah. So,
okay.
So I'll just tell everybody, this is probably I don't know if we're going to be able to get another episode in before Foy and I are leaving for Florida to spend at least till the end of July, maybe beginning of August, with my parents. And then we're also going to Puerto Rico. So we will be, I will be filming hopefully with my mom and maybe Fuega, I don't know, whenever she feels comfortable. And we're going to Puerto Rico, so I would love to do something with...
do like a vlog or something.
Something, yeah. Because it's going to be a really cool experience. Like, I have not been there.
I'm excited for you guys.
Exactly. But also, Aaron and Sam are coming down at the end of July.
Yeah.
Or mid-July.
Middle in, somewhere in there.
So we're going to film a podcast for sure. Maybe we'll be on the beach or something, or at the resort, looking all tan. But other than that, I'm just going to do little clips here and there. And I definitely want to do a podcast, probably a couple podcasts with my mom, because I think that would be really, really cool. And she's neurodivergent too. And I think she's sending me clips and stuff and articles. And I think it's really awesome to see how her mind is working. And I would love to talk about how her and I are so different in our divergencies. But I'm just a little version of her. So I'm excited now that we can have like a real adult conversation about the whole thing. So we're going to do that. And let's not forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, so our personal Facebook pages, and our YouTube channel. And this summer, I do plan to work on getting Spotify. So now the summertime, I won't be working, so I'll be able to focus a little bit more on the technology part, because I didn't realize how much it is. And even with YouTube, all the analytics, and like, it is number driven. So I'm learning all of that, how to post, how to edit, and all that stuff. So, and don't forget any local shout outs. We'll definitely take that. So anybody who wants to promote, it could be anything. Just let us know.
And keep asking questions.
Yes.
I ran into one of my friends at work, and she's so straightforward, and I love that about her. And she was like, well, I'm a nosy person, and I enjoy it.
Yes.
So, any questions you might have, please throw it in. And if we feel it's show appropriate, we'll take it to a pod.
100%. Yeah. A show appropriate. With a make sure. Yeah.
Show appropriate. Yes.
We had one person. We were just like,
yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
That's not. Yeah.
Right.
Be respectful.
I don't think he meant it disrespectfully, but I didn't think it was something that the masses would really care about.
It's not the vibe.
Care to know about. Yeah.
No. So if you could just do all that stuff for us and send us questions, and we'll see you later. So peace out.
Until next time.